G'day and welcome to the round 16 episode of the SCP show. I'm back in Melbourne, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Joyce! Gary Rohan!
Back.
Yeah.
We gained one.
Yeah, we gained one. We lost one as well. Paige just ducked out for some reason. As soon as I got to the Bar 94, by the way, that we're recording at, she just ducked out. I didn't think she wanted to face me. Her team's not good. But speaking of teams, we're going to be talking about our teams this week. But Mick, you got the coveted chocolate hat this week.
Yeah, for the second time of the season, unfortunately. I scored a measly 2,501, which is actually, funnily enough, my highest score for the season. But
not good enough.
Joyce, settle down. Yeah. I'm still higher than you and you, okay? So you guys don't be giving me poo-poo, right? What did you get this week, Damo?
Oh, I beat you and the girl we like to call Paige, who isn't here.
Well,
I can't even give
her name.
Can't even give her a ribbing. But I scored 2,645 and won all my leagues apart from one. It was that sort of week. I ended up being beaten by some guy who ended up busting out a 2,800 score. So there you go.
Yeah, pretty good. And I got 2562. So not bad, not great either. Heath Shaw ruined me, Jamie Elliott ruined me, and Jackson McRae ruined me. So why do I still have McRae though? So.
Who knows? All right, so guys, we're smashing into today's episode, and as you said earlier, it's all about our teams, and we'll start with my team because it's an interesting one.
Interesting's a good way to put it.
Yes.
So my strategy for my team has always been smash it out, gun ho, all guns blazing. So I started off the season relatively steadily, and then I realised I quite like trading, so I figured I'll keep going on with it. And right now, so I'm left with one trade for the rest of the season. Now I understand that we've got what, seven rounds left, and I know having one trade is not good because obviously if two players get injured, then
you're done.
There goes my season. But my philosophy on this was always get the best players in your team as fast as you possibly can, and then deal with the consequences after that.
He's going to be doing that.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to go through our best decision and our worst decision. Now, my best decision was easily getting in the buy rounds, the buy round trades. They were definitely my best decisions. Getting in Selwood, Wingard, Franklin, a lot of good players. Although I did get in Rewalt, thinking that
I remember this discussion.
He asked us.
Thinking that he would come good after the buy rounds, but didn't.
No.
Unfortunately, I've since gotten rid of him. So that was a wasted trade. Also another good decision, getting Fife 2 rounds ago. Yeah. So that was a very good decision. Worst decision. Now this has just come this week. Now I've traded out. Last round, I used 2 of my last 3 trades to trade out Hanley for Yench. I was fed up with Hanley. He'd just come off a game where he got 50, right? And I desperately wanted Mumford. Now I had Jamar, and I said this weeks ago when I got in Jamar that I'm either going to look like a genius or an idiot. And initially I looked like a genius, right? And unfortunately, had I kept him, I would have looked like a genius again.
Yeah.
But I decided to get rid of him, and unfortunately, I lost out on a probable score of around 2,780. I think I calculated it too. Yeah. So very unfortunate. That's my regret for the season. You'll see all the graphics up on the screen of my team at the moment, hopefully. And Damo, though.
Yes.
Your team's a bit of an interesting one as well.
It is a very interesting one, and I started with a relatively balanced team. I thought not too bad. Took a few risks, which didn't pay off in the end. Took a risk on Daisy. Daisy Thomas, had him on my side, and Webster was another one, and Gary Rohan. You didn't do too well.
No, I didn't.
You were starting the season alright. You're getting games, but not scoring too well. They didn't pay off. They were my biggest gambles. Apart from those 3, had Viv Mishi from Melbourne. He tore it up in the pre-season. I thought, who should I get? Should I get Tyson or Viv Mishi? Ended up going for the latter. And ended up trading Mishi out for Tyson before the price rises. So I think that was round 2 at that stage. So I had to cut my losses there, as well as Webster as well. I cut my losses quite early and traded Webster out for Swallow, who I initially started in my team with. But I had some bad luck over the season as well, especially with injuries. And in my rucks, now I started with Ryder, and had to trade him out because he got injured. I think it was about round 5. Traded him out to Mumford. Now we all know what happened to Mumford as well. He got injured. I had him in my side for 2 weeks, and traded him out for Jacob. So that's worked out well in the end. And I've also had bad luck with players being traded into my side, and in the first week they get injured. Now I started off with Fasolo, Anzac Day game, first week in my side, injured his ankle. Had Wingard was another one, concussed in his first week, and Yench as well, concussed as well in his first week in my side. Yeah. So not too good there. Getting on to the best decisions. We'll have to say probably Mumford. The trade of him immediately. I know Paige, she held on to him, and I actually traded him out straight away, cut my losses, and got Jacobs in. Now that was actually a down trade, believe it or not, at that stage. Yeah. Ended up making $90,000 from that trade, and Jacobs is now priced at $603,000 with an average of 113. Back then he was 476 with an average of 103. So. Not too bad there.
Yeah, no Jamar though.
Yes,
remember
other good option.
Remember that.
Other good option was Kate Simpson, unique premium. A lot of people wanted to jump on him as they have over the past few weeks. So that was good as well. And my other good decision was trading out Shuey. Now I know you started with him as well, Joyce. He gave us a bit of grief in the long run. Just a bit, probably a lot of grief. And my good decision was trading him out to Pendlebury at the right stage, because that week Shuey started sputting it up, and Pendles, of course, has always been a champ, and Shuey's gone downhill, and I don't know if you've still got Shuey? No? Good. No. There you go, that would have been a bad decision. Speaking of bad decisions, worst decisions for me, minutes before the round 1 lockout, I swapped out Parker for Tom Mitchell, and swapped out Swallow for Webster in order to fund the Tom Mitchell trade, so that didn't work out too well there. Second one was trading in Swan at the expense of McRae, when McRae hadn't peaked yet, but I thought he'd peaked already. And Swan, this was trading him in after the Anzac Day game when he busted out the 145, whatever it was. And since then, he hasn't actually hit the ton. So he's getting the chop this week. And my third and final bad decision was not pulling the trigger. This is from last week, so quite recent. Not pulling the trigger on Swan to 5. And I'm going to make that same trade this week, but now I have to fork out an extra $50,000 in order to fund that trade, because 5's gone up and Swan's gone down. So there we go.
I'm predicting a knife, 5 elbow to the face for someone, and he's going to get suspended for 3 weeks.
With my luck, probably, that'll be the
I'm
case.
also predicting that Swan will spud it up again this week and go around about maybe 60s, I reckon.
I hope so.
Either that, or he'll go like 140, and you'll just completely regret your decision.
Yeah, and last but not least, me. I had a pretty garbage start to the season. Same to you, Damon. I mean, we had pretty similar teams. We both had Rohan, Cochin, Shuey, Mishi, who's the other one? Dale Thomas, of course. So I really missed out on all the good buys at the start there. And you used your trades and I didn't.
Yes. So I told you, I do recall you like, why are you using him so early? But now you know, because I made the same mistake last year and I've learnt my lesson. But there we go.
I can only go so far. And I didn't start with Gaz again.
Didn't listen.
No, I didn't
listen. Rookie error.
Rookie error. Yeah, no, I'm never going to do it again. But I brought him in round 9, so that was all right. And yeah, just lots of bad luck with injury. I brought McAvoy in round... No, I had McAvoy at the start of the year. Gets injured in round 2. Bring Mumford in, then he's a laid out, so I got a 0 that week for that. Yeah, not good stuff for me to start with. And Jackson Merritt, traded him in for Pavlich when Pavlich had a crap start to the year, and then Pavlich starts getting tons every week. Gunston, traded him out for Zorko, because Zorko had a great start, and then he went to crap, so... Yeah, good start to the year for me. But my best decisions would have to have come after round 11, because I've basically hit every single one of them. I've been able to bring in Franklin, Goddard, Malcheski, McGovern, and Steve Johnson in that time. And I traded out Sam Lloyd, Harry Cunningham, Luke Shuey, Langford, and Matt McDonough. So big upgrades there.
Yeah, huge upgrades.
Yeah.
Must have had $1 million in the bank.
It was pretty close. And you could probably say my other 2 trades were pretty good as well. I brought in Watson and Heath Shaw. And for, who was it? Someone and Langdon. So, yeah, you can't really say that, you should have seen Watson's injury coming, because who can see long-term injuries coming? And who knew that Heath Shaw would have a date with Tippett's knee? So...
That's a nice way to put it, I think.
Yeah. So good decisions in the second half of the year for me.
But Heath Shaw is always, bound to do something stupid like that.
Yeah,
Let's face it.
he was on my never again list.
He still remains on my never again list. I'm
Yeah,
glad I did,
true.
because I was tempted as well.
And for my worst decision, I hate you, Jamie Elliott, because in however long it was ago, I think 2 months ago, I had a decision of going Jamie Elliott or Brent Harvey. And this was the week before Harvey got his 170 something.
That's right.
And I think Elliott got a 50 that week. And Elliott cost 40k more than Harvey at the time. Yeah.
Wow.
Because he just had a month of really good football, Jamie Elliott. And so I got sucked in, and I did that trade instead of going for consistency, which you should always do. Always go for consistency.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's basically cost me 400 points, and Elliott is now sub 400k, so it's hard for me to afford an upgrade. So yeah, interesting times there. So yeah, the thing that I want to take away from this season, because you still learn, you never stop learning in SuperCoach.
No, never stop learning.
You have to think, if someone goes into a patch of good form, like Jamie Elliott did, you have to think, is he going to be able to keep this up? And has he shown that he's been able to do that in the past? And if your answer is, oh, I hope so, or, maybe, that's not good enough. You need to have a yes, a strong yes. You either need to start the year with someone, and if they go good, great, like McRae, a lot of people got on McRae and he did great, or you just need to forget about the, maybes, the coulda, shoulda.
Yeah, you
The
got
Zorkos.
No, I had Zorko. No, I didn't have Zorko. I was going to, and then I traded him out for someone.
I had Zorko, as you know. I traded him out and then brought him back in. And I was very tempted to do it again.
Yeah.
But luckily I didn't. But yeah, just on the things that we learned, we probably should ask Mick as well and myself, the things that we've learned. So you've learned that. I myself have learned to back yourself in when you are considering trades. And I worked out, I thought, with 5's break even last week, I thought, he might have made it, but maybe only going up about 20 grand or so, but he actually went up double that. So my main thing that I've learned is, so I've always known about the consistency, but for me, back yourself in and back your gut. As long as there's the data there, like you mentioned as well, to back it up, to say, look, there's a fair chance that he will go up 20 grand, even more. Whereas with Swan, I knew that he wasn't performing well, and I was just hanging by a thread of...
You were looking for a bargain.
I was looking for a bargain, yeah. And I thought Swan might have a breakout game against Carlton and sort of level up the ledger there in terms of the pricing, but didn't work. So always back your gut in.
How about you, Cameron Wood?
Thanks, Gary Rohan. They're good points, guys. I have also learned that always keep faith in Jamar. He will always lead you to a victory, which I didn't get. And also use and abuse the forward / defender / midfield options, because especially during the bye rounds when when players were out of my team and I could trade in a forward that was playing for another forward that wasn't playing. He was probably crummy anyway, and all I had to do was put, say, a Dangerfield into the midfield to make room for it, and I did it. Use and abuse that. So I feel like a lot of people sort of don't do that enough because they want this gun midfield, but it's good having consistent performers all over the ground. And again, if you have to put Dangerfield into your midfield, like I have, and I know you guys don't like it,
no.
But if you have to do that, do it so you can get good performers over the entire field instead of just in that midfield. Yeah,
that's right. Yep. Speaking of trades, though, what are you doing this week?
I'm definitely doing the Swan to Fife. I've downgraded Ambrose to Sweet Jesus, also known as Honeychurch, and using that money to upgrade Swan to Fife.
Yep, I'm going for Sweet Jesus as well, and bringing in Robbie Gray for Jamie Elliott, the biggest scumbag in the universe. Ooh. How about you, Mick? With your one trade, you doing anything?
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting rid of Gary Ablett, and no, I'm not going to trade. I feel like I've got a pretty solid team at the moment, so we'll see how we go. Let's see if I can crack that 2,600 mark. So there we go.
But that's about all for this week. Thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to tweet in using SCP Show hashtag, and we'll answer your questions throughout the week. And be sure to check out the Joyce podcast. I actually recorded it this week, which is nice. My exams are done, so I could record it. And that has a bit more of the statistical stuff, if that's the side of SuperCoach that you're looking for. But from all of us here, thanks again for watching.
Cool.